happened right there. I don't know
Yeah.
how we.
It might be on my end. I was talking to Chiesa earlier today, and the same thing happened. But
Wow.
yeah, my bad about that. But what were we just talking about? We're just talking about striking. Gregor Gillespie's national champion. You're talking about you respect
Hmm.
his wrestling. So, you purposely went in that thinking, game plan. I'm just gonna strike with this guy.
Yeah, yeah. Keep. Well, number one was keep him off my legs. Don't
Mm-hmm.
wrestle with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then naturally we just going to end up striking together. And I think that's what happened. And once that happened, I kind of pride myself on being well rounded. So I like to strike with the wrestlers, wrestle with the strikers.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think the fans do too. I mean, something I really want to talk to you about because I relate to kind of your wrestling journey, transitioning after that. Obviously nowhere near your level, but just the passion. I feel like where you were at, and you have a brother who's a fighter, and I've been seeing a little bit of him and the splashes he's made. And tell me about growing up with a brother and how that helps, fighting. Did you guys fight a lot? You get experience out of that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and it is funny. I was just talking with somebody this morning about that too, where I feel like he probably gonna end up tougher than me because I'm the oldest, so I kind of spend all the time whooping his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got two younger brothers, so I've got one that fights and one that doesn't. And the youngest one, the baby, he's actually the toughest out of us. He can take the toughest in taking the most amount of damage,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
and just keep on coming.
He's not gonna throw
But
a
he
butt
just
kick
he just
at
ain't
you.
worked on the skills.
Yeah.
But my younger brother Keith, he's gonna be a complete package once he puts it all together. That's for sure.
And how old
Like
is he again?
he's 23 right now,
Ah,
so
so
he's
he's
still real
young.
young in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
young.
he's got time. He's got time. I mean, me, I got two brothers, so just like you, I
Mm.
got I got an older brother and a twin brother, but my twin brother's always had like 10 pounds less on him than me. So it's
Oh, see, I always kind of wanted the twin.
yeah,
I
oh,
mean,
it's a
I
gift
feel
and a
like the
curse,
twin is
man.
the best way to do it.
Yeah, it was great for wrestling and stuff like that, and having mats.
Yeah,
Like my parents got me like one little mat, so we had like
yeah.
barely any space, but we could drill. But something that we both did was like a lot of times we'd be pummeling for underhooks and we'd be working, and then
Uh-huh.
my parents would hear some noise and they'd, stop it. So like we got really good at just like on our feet, just upper body stuff because we're trying to be quiet, throw somebody on the bed. But yeah, having a
Yeah.
twin, it's definitely awesome, but man, they know how to push your button better than anybody. A brother, my older
Oh yeah.
brother, he knows
I
how to
believe
get
that.
under my skin, but yeah, my twin brother is just different. He could take me from 0 to 100 real quick. So, but yeah,
I
I can't.
believe that.
Yes, but having brothers, man, it's a great thing. So I think it's really cool your brother's that young and he's having success. But
Yeah.
talk about your division,
And
man.
above me a little bit. Say again. Sorry.
Let's talk about your division. You got
Mhm.
some a lot going on. I mean, and then
Yeah.
we got Islam. He's fighting Drew coming up. What do you think about that
Yeah.
match?
Yeah, it's a good fight. I'm actually surprised if he gonna make it to the fight, to be honest with you, because it seemed like Ali kind of keeps him away from all the tough fights.
Mm,
And Drew Dober is a tough fight. It's not gonna be easy for him. He's got, I think it's a southpaw versus southpaw, so that kind of helps out a little bit. Drew's just got that big overhand left, so I think Islam will probably just wrestle with him. Get him to overcommit on them strikes. Because the angle will be a little off because they both southpaws,
mhm.
which I don't think Drew is used to fighting. So even though Drew's tough, they kind of picking and choosing their battle, which is what Islam do. So I'm expecting Islam to win it for sure.
Okay.
But hopefully Drew can put up a good fight. Hopefully he can scramble up off the bottom and get back up on top. But like you said, there's a lot of good fights coming up in this division. A lot, like
Mhm.
everybody. So I'm kind of sitting back. Been real quiet over the last year so that when I do make my comeback and make my splashback, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, you definitely been quiet. I've been trying to see what's good. I know,
Be
I
chilling.
yeah, I know. But you did say recently, you said to somebody that you were thinking about Tony Ferguson, and you said it made a whole
Yeah.
lot of sense. I mean, he's coming
Yeah.
off that loss to Oliveira, and you think he's still got a good push in him. I mean, like you said, the 30s are different now. But
Yeah.
what do you take about the matchup with Tony? Do you see it going any different this time? Just slight adjustments, or you think you got something big in the back pocket for him?
Yeah. There's a lot of adjustments that I'm going to make getting ready for that one. It's gonna be a good fight. I think he's gonna make adjustments. I think he's gonna look at those first two rounds that we had, um, and try and make adjustments to my style too. So And for me, it's going to be about building off of what I was doing right and avoiding beating myself. Really, that's really going to be the test against him. Is as long as I don't beat myself, it's going to be a good fight. But either way, I think it's going to be a good fight because he's a veteran, and he's been through the ringer even after our fight.
Well,
So he's been in some real bloody wars. So I'm looking forward to that one. He might want another bloody war.
Yeah,
I need one of those.
You guys will give it. I mean, I will watch you guys fight 10 times out of 10 times. Just like everyone knows, styles make matchups, and the style that he comes at with the style you bring, it's always going to be fireworks if you guys fight. But I'll
especially once you add in our history.
Oh yeah. There's always going to be a little bit there too. So I mean, let's say, but if Tony does say tomorrow, you know what, fuck it, I'm retiring, I'm done. You know, what would your perspective be then, and who else kind of sparks your interest right now?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I got to sit back and think on it a little bit more and even see how I am once I am ready to start a training camp. I'm maybe about a month removed from being able to start a training camp. So I got to see what weight I'm going to be at, what weight I'm going into training camp at, because that's going to determine a lot on what type of fight I'm taking. And if it's even going to be a lightweight, we have been, I've been talking with my coaches and seeing if we do one or two at welterweight first, just to get my body back used to being at that pace. And then we talk about moving back down. But
so you're thinking about welterweight, but if you do go, it would only be a temporary thing.
Yeah, it would be temporary, and I would not go for Tony. I want to fight Tony. So if Tony not available and there's no other real good fights, then I don't know. We'll see how this whole thing play out. It's gonna be interesting these next couple months, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like we talked about you back on the mats. We're talking fights. How are the knees doing these days?
They hold together.
I heard recently they're at 80. What would you say now?
I said he's still at about 80. At about 80. I kind of went hard last week, just to give him a good test out. And sorry, puppy. I kind of went hard last week, and he wants some attention, huh? And it kind of knocked it back down a little bit, to be honest with you. So they still at about 80%.
Okay, I mean,
not no worse, but not no better either.
Okay, all right, no worries. I mean, you're still very young for the sport. I heard you talk about that recently as well. You're coming in. You've got some big wins. You got some big things on the table, some big opportunities to jump right into. How do you see 2021 and maybe even 2022 looking for you?
I'm gonna take over the game. I think a lot of people don't really realize it. They count me out on a lot of stuff, and it's kind of by design, at least for my part. So that when I do make the comeback and I do get back in the fray, I'm gonna take over the game for sure. I mean, there's some good guys that I want to go after. There's Oliveira still out there that I want to get that one back. I think he's kind of top of the heap right now. But when I look at our fight together, I'm better than him too. So once I stack up the right few wins, I think 2 this year, and I'm gonna try and at least get 2 or 3 next year. Then the game is mine. The game is mine. I'm taking it over, and ain't gonna be nothing. They can't stop me. That's all they do. We can do all the talking. We can do all the press, and I can make them a bunch of shit, but they're not gonna be able to stop me after this.
Hell yeah, man! I love it. I mean, there's obviously a lot of great guys like we talked about at the top of 155 right now. Who do you think? Who do you think is gonna be the next champ at this weight class? We got, obviously Khabib's been dangling this thing in front of everybody, or maybe it's Dana, probably Dana.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that? Who do you think is gonna get the next belt?
I think Oliveira has the most skill, but they're gonna try their best to not give him the belt. So I think they're gonna dick him around for a little bit.
Why do you think
that? He's just not very marketable for the UFC. Like I think even he understands that. I think even he knows that. There's more than just being the best fighter that comes to being the champ these days. So yeah, I think they'll probably end up making like some weird interim title or something like that, and just say that's why Khabib is away, and at best they might give the interim title to Oliveira, but he's the most skilled. But realistically, I see Dustin Poirier probably holding the title.
Okay. So you think in
Yeah,
a matchup between Dustin and Oliveira, you think Oliveira takes that?
yeah, I think Oliveira take it. Yeah, yeah, but
Very
I just
interesting.
don't see him making it. To be honest
Yeah.
with you, not for the undisputed title. I just
Mhm.
don't see him. I just don't see him making that fight happen.
You
Like I
think
said,
he's
maybe for an interim title, something
yeah.
like that, they might do it. But nah, I don't think they make that fight happen. I think most people look at that and see Oliveira win it.
Mhm. What about a bout with Conor McGregor? He's coming off a loss. He may get the next fight with Dustin, and maybe Dustin decides he wants to
Yeah.
go for a title. But what do you think if Dustin does take in another world a fight with Oliveira? Are you interested right now in a fight with Conor and kind of jumping on that opportunity?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of the things I'm looking at. In an ideal world, in my ideal world, I would fight Tony next, and then Connor at the end of the year.
Mm,
Let him get one in against somebody. Let him get a good win in. Uh, Even if it's got to be an old vet or it's Nate Diaz or whoever it is that he need to get that win in, and then me and him fight at the end of the year. I like that. That's a good. That makes sense to me.
yeah,
And
I
it'll
think
put
so.
either one of us up in the top five, because I
Yeah.
think right now we both kind of sitting outside the top five looking to get in.
Hmm.
So we both need that signature win. If he beats me, he shows a lot. That he could take on a wrestler and all that. And if I beat him, it's a hell of a payday. That's the big one. So
That's
I'm looking
definitely
at. I'm interested for
all
sure.
right. Cool, cool. I mean, who in preparation to these fights and these days, it's hard to train with obviously COVID and everything like that. But if
Mhm.
talking training partners, who are some of your favorite guys to work with in the gym?
You mean just period overall?
Just period. That's been maybe some guys are your best friends, maybe some guy you just worked with, a couple times here, a couple times there.
I mean, there's so many good guys. Who I actually really like working with is Roy McDonald.
Really.
Um, yeah, he's young, but you could tell he's real experienced and he
Hmm.
really knows what he's doing. And he goes hard, but not like he's never gonna injure you. You can kind of tell that. Um, there's another KSI champ. I can't say his name because he Russian. So 170-pound KSI champ.
Okay.
He's one of the best to work with. Real world class striker. Uh, Emil Meek
Mhm.
Valhalla. That's my boy, the Viking. He's one of the best. It's so many good guys. And these days I'm
Yeah.
working a lot with Jake Shields too.
Hmm.
Um, and Jake
Yeah.
is, yeah, he's
Have
solid.
you ever worked with the Diaz boys?
Nah, 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 nah. Diaz brothers don't work with many people.
Well,
I don't think
you're
they
in
really
high
work,
spots.
to
You
be
could be
honest with you.
around Nate. I don't know. Have I ever seen any splash about you and Nate? Or you guys got any rapport at all? Or you guys
Nah,
talk
it
about
was a
fighting
little
there?
bit like a few years ago, a little
Yeah.
bit here and there, but that fight don't really interest me too much, to be honest
Nah.
with you. Nah, that ain't the one. That ain't the
Yeah.
one. That's just a if they need somebody to fight Nate Diaz type fight, then
Yeah.
I'll step up. But
Okay.
I ain't looking for that.
Yeah. I mean, one thing actually, before I forget, that just popped into my mind. I was talking to Drew Dober the other day, and he said, "Hey, man, when you talk to Kevin, because I told him about some of the lineup I got set up, and he said, when you talk to Kevin, he said, you got to see that tattoo, man. I don't know what's up with that thing. He said, I haven't seen it. I want to be able to perform with that. How long did that thing take? And can you give us a look at it?
Yeah, so it was almost 24 hours total just on the head and neck piece. You can't really. The idea is you can't even really see it right now
Yeah,
because my hair is grown out. But
yeah,
you'll see once I get ready to fight and I shave the back of my head. That's when the warrior come out. That's the
yeah.
idea at
That's
least.
gonna be a wild look, man. I think we're all looking forward to that. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
was
it's gonna look
That
dope.
was that was your last post on the gram for a while. I was just looking at. I kept
Yep.
seeing your head every day, man. I try to come see what's up with Kevin Lee, but nah, man, that thing looks like it hurt. I don't have any tattoos. I'm too indecisive, man. But all the
It
props to
hurts like a bitch. It hurts like a bitch. I would recommend for sure.
well, hey, if there's a time to do it, it's the downtime with obviously coming back from the knees and everything like that.
Yep.
So, right on, man, right on. Well, I
Yep.
appreciate you coming on and chopping it up with me, Kevin.